Today's workout was squats. Didn't warm up much in I suppose the traditional term, because my body was quite warm. I actually just took a walk up and down the stairs at the hotel before I started, literally just a couple of times. Reason being, this place is really warm, humid. That gym is unbearably hot. So I do feel sets more than anything else. So basically, got in there, squat rack was free, and I started with some light field sets. I mixed them up, sets of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, really starting with just the bar, then just 5 kgs on each side, just 10 kgs on each side. I slowly built up until it started to get a bit heavier, which for me is once I start approaching 2/3 of my body weight, I start dropping down to 1 reps for field sets, and pretty much just really focusing on how my knees are feeling, how my hips are feeling, my body position, the bar position. Today I had a little bit of a tweak in my left knee, which is where I tore my meniscus about 25 years ago. So I needed to be very careful with that. So I did more field sets than usual. Eventually worked up to 105 kilos, 105 kilos, that's including the bar, and I was happy with that. It's what I did last time, and that was my 1 rep max. That was really my top set. After that, I dropped down to 90 kilos, and I did that for 2 sets of 3. Then, because there was 3 sets of 3 of 90 kilos, and then I dropped the weight down to 85 kilos, and I did 85 kilos for 5 by 5. So I did 5 sets of 5 reps of 85 kilos, and that was essentially what I tracked. So that was actually exactly the same as last week. There was no progressive overload in terms of the weight. I actually had a much harder session last week. I felt pretty great. Today I wasn't really that happy with my squat depth on the 105 kilo single. It was okay. I don't know if it would have passed in an IPF competition, and I suppose that's debatable. Honestly, I was under so much strain that I couldn't really judge. So I was happier on the 90 kilo set, but I did feel very fatigued more than usual. The 85s were fine. Why did I do 85s and 90s for my 5 by 5 and my 2 by 3? Because for me, I try to build baseline strength. You know, the top set is the top set. You can have good days, bad days, no time, but I like to establish a baseline. For me, a baseline of 5 by 5 at 85 kilos was actually very good. It's what I did last time. It's my new baseline. And before I progressively overload my 2 by 3, I'm going to make sure that I can get 5 weeks in a row, or should I say not weeks, but 5 squat sessions in a row where my baseline of 5 by 5 is 85 kilos. And then I will probably jump my 2 by 3s up by 95. I just want to make sure I can hit the 85 consistently. By that point, I was actually totally whacked. So I carried on with lighter weights. I think that the reason for excessive fatigue and not performing the way I wanted to was probably because I didn't really have a great weekend in terms of sleep. It was awesome. We went to the Vaal with friends. They've got a place down there. And we stayed with them. They are great people, but I'm an early sleeper and they like to party. It was the World Cup semi-final. They stayed up late watching, having a great time, making a heck of a lot of noise. So I didn't sleep because I'm an old fart. I can't really tell people to not enjoy the World Cup semi-final. So I just stayed there and didn't get sleep. They're also, again, wonderful people to hang out with, but they don't know what a vegetable looks like. So it was just heavy carbs, which I thought maybe would fuel me for today, but it didn't really. Yesterday, I had very little sleep. I did manage to get, before the flight, just 5 reps of between 20 and 30 with my light little dumbbells of tricep overhead extensions. That was basically all I did, so that's the context. Today, though, I really did get good sleep, 7.5 hours sleep. I had a good breakfast. I had a 3-egg omelette with some cheese and tomatoes. I had a slice of brown bread with some feta cheese and avocado. The hotel gives these little mixed juice bottles that I don't know how much is in them. It looks to me like about 100 mils. A couple of cups of coffee. I actually had 5 grams creatine when I woke up. 5 grams creatine just before the gym session after breakfast. I suppose that extra 5 grams could be either expensive pee, but I don't think so, because I think I'm not really a great responder to creatine. That is a theory that's not validated, and so I take a bit more. Anyway, I think that the reason I really didn't feel strong this session was because of the lack of sleep for the preceding 2 days. But I followed up my squats. I want to really work on some functional stuff. I did what the local trainer here calls mosquito weights. I took the 7.5 kg dumbbells. I did 4 sets of 15. It was 4 sets of 30, but basically 15 each leg of forward lunges. With those, the 5th set I wanted to do the same, but a lady who's clearly stronger than me took the 7.5 kg dumbbells while I was sitting down, and so I took it's 25 pounds, because they've got an assortment of weights with pounds and kilos in this hotel. So I took the 25 pounds, managed to still get my set of 30, so 15 each side on the forward lunges, and then I did something I haven't done before, which was essentially doing 1 leg at a time and going a forward lunge, a backward lunge, a forward lunge, a backward lunge, 6 forward and backward on each leg, by which time I was totally shot, because the only way I can describe that exercise is soul destroying. If you want something that's functional, that will destroy your soul with very light weights, I would say that's a good way to do it. After that, went on to a treadmill. It's not a great treadmill, but I'll say that, but it is a treadmill. And I set the incline on 15 for whatever that may be worth, and started off with a speed of 4, and then increased it to a speed of 6 after a minute or 2. Did that walk for 16 minutes at that incline at that speed, and then the last 4 minutes of 20 minutes, I set the speed up to 8, kept the same incline, and I would describe it as the first 16 minutes were moderate to vigorous, and the last 4 minutes were vigorous in that I could not talk. There would be no way for me to hold a conversation during those 4 minutes. I really got my heart rate up nicely. I think I'll get those 300 discovery points for sure. The workout probably wasn't practical for most people because it took me 2 hours and 12 minutes to do. It's not something I would have time for if I was at home, but since my work shift is only this afternoon, I had plenty of time to do it. And even though I didn't feel amazing, what really did feel amazing is I just managed to do it. It was a hard workout. I do feel like it was successful. I think that if I can carry this off another 3 times, then I will move on to a heavier squat. And that's the story in terms of my post-workout meal. Because I travel so much, I have to have things that are dry, but also, they won't go bad, and they're also nutritious. So I'm having 2 scoops of a good protein shake. It's a mix of whey protein isolates, whey protein concentrates, casein. Let's see, I don't have the bottle right here. I mix that with 50 grams of oats and a teaspoon of chia seeds. The hotel do give these little 50-gram plain yogurts. They're not really high quality, but I may have that as a dessert. I've still got quite a demanding shift later. And that is today's workout. Would love your feedback on what you think was good, what you think was bad, bearing in mind my objective is really to get strong at squats, strong at functional use of my legs. And that's the story. Let me know how your workout was.